Welcome back to the Spit It Out podcast, your show where we dive into gaming news and keep it casual on the surface. I'm your host, Ramazan, together with my co hosts, Yasser
Yo, yo, yo.
and Aman.
What's up?
The day of our recording, it's February 24, 2026, and holy crap. Like the last 2 weeks have been a whirlwind for PlayStation and Xbox. Sony surfing up hype, heartbreak, and hardware headaches, while Microsoft just hits the leadership eject button. Strap in, we've got a lot to unpack.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's kick off with the heights. Sony's State of Play on February 12th, their biggest ever smashing viewership records with over 3 million live watchers. No PS6 news.
Hmm.
There are some rumors, but we'll get to it later. But a barrage of over 30 reveals to pump up PS5. Here's the full rapid fire rundown in the order that lit up the feed. Kena, Scars of Cosmora from Amber Lab, older Kena with a massive wolf companion and elemental spirit guiding this year on PS5 and PC. Ghost of Yotai Legends, Sucker Punch's free co-op update for the Ghost sequel hitting March 10 with raids and classes. Death Stranding 2 on the beach PS port confirmed for March 19 with DualSense upgrades. 4-loop Bad Robots tactical 4-player co-op shooter with alien tech betas incoming. Whew, so it's a mouthful. Pragmata from Capcom, sci-fi duo adventure, launching April 24 with a demo out now. Resident Evil Requiem, Capcom's Leon starring horror dropping February 27.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's like 3 days from now. So he's infected again. Legacy of Kain, Deviants remastered by Crystal Dynamics March 3 on PS4 and PS5 with cancelled sequel demo Dead or Alive 6 Last Round Definitive Edition June 25 F2P option plus a new project tease from Team Ninja. Control Resonant, Remedy's Dylan Faden sequel with graffiti, chaos and shape-shifting guns. Crimson Moon, Gothic co-op RPG later 2026 as a half angel demon slayer. Beast of Reincarnation from Game Freak. One Girl, One Dog action RPG August 4. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition Definitive Pack out February 13. Mina the Hollower Spring 2026. Metroidvania with a PS5 demo dropping soon. Neva Prologue Prequel DLC February 19 exploring Alba and Wolf Cub's origin. Yako Shinobi Ops isometric 4-player ninja co-op next year. Project Windless, Krafton's open world recon warrior RPG, Star Wars Galactic Racer, roguelike pod racing late this year, 007 First Light from IO Interactive, Bond Origin Story trailer with May 27 launch, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 August 27, bringing MGS4 Peace Walker Ghost Babel to PS5, Darwin's Paradox Octopus Stealth Platformer April 2 with MGS inspired demo, Castlevania Belmont's Curse from Evil Empire, 2D action this year for the 40th anniversary, Silent Hill Townfall first person CRT horror, Rev Noir, Konami's Lightfall JRPG tease, John Wick action game from Saber, which I'm just I love John Wick.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Kung Fu Faithful to the movies, Marathon from Bungie, which we'll be playing, the three of us. It's an extraction shooter with server slam February 26th and launch March 5th. PlayStation Plus updates stacking Spider-Man 2, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, Neva, I hope I speak it correctly, and more from February 17th. Plus premium classics like Tekken Dark Resurrections, Sorrows from House Marquire, roguelike shooter April 30th, Marvel Token Fighting Souls, X-Men Brawlers August 6th with Wolverine Storm, and closing bombshells. Now here is the part I'm really looking forward to. The God of War trilogy remake in early devs at Santa Monica plus God of War Sons of Sparta. The surprise 2D prequel out right now from Mega Cat Studios. Demos galore, PS Sports, Hyper Overload, pure. I just, I don't have words for it anymore.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
got overloaded with a lot of God of War.
yeah, man. Like, I mean, it's God of War, the trilogy. It's a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 trilogy. Like, to give it the chance to modernize it, like, bro, I can already see like the high definition way of like how the original trilogy was. I'm just I'm really hyped for it. But yeah, what's your take on it? Like both of you, actually.
Let us know, man.
Yeah, so I'll start off with where you ended with the God of War trilogy. I think the biggest part of that is it allows people to like actually try it without needing like either like a backport or like backward support for the older games and play it on like a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. I'm not sure if PlayStation 5 supports PlayStation 3 games, but like that's not the way it's intended to be played, obviously. So with it being able to come out now, definitely great. I noticed, maybe I didn't hear correctly, but I noticed you missed Sorrows, the orange game, as I call it. It did look more promising than what we had seen before, but still, I'm not fully convinced with Sorrows. Marathon, will definitely be trying that, all three of us. So definitely excited for that. And then Ref Noir, which was interesting that Konami was putting that much into it. Like, I wasn't really sure about it, and they were selling it as if that's like their biggest release. So maybe it could be something. I know our friend here, Yasser, my buddy next to me. He got neuron activation the moment they said JRPG, so he's definitely interested.
That is true. That is true. Again, it was a great state of play. God of War ending it made a lot of sense. I am just cautious since they have said they're gonna revamp the combat, which I don't know if they're gonna revamp it into making it similar to the modern God of War games or the Norse mythology God of War games. I'm kind of hoping not. I kind of hope it still stays like an hack and slash, like a full-on action game. And like, I'm excited to see Ramazan, the high definition game of us, like have a taste in its 4K full glory. I will be trying to play the original trilogy since I haven't finished any of the trilogy. It's funny, played all of them. I never finished any of them. Partly because I grew up with an Xbox, so I guess I should probably exit since we're talking about PlayStation. But I already had like a very fondness for God of War, especially with how some of my friends are hyping me up about it, and I will make sure and have the time, especially since this trilogy remake, like not just God of War 1 remake, but a trilogy remake, has been announced to actually like start the trilogy, like the OG trilogy, and finish them. Rev Noir definitely got me excited. Talk about Konami dropping like a surprise for me at the end, because they showed off like, you know, the Metal Gear Solid collection volume 2. That had me like excited, but and like Silent Hill Townfall, very interested in it. I did hear about them exploring different cultures, I believe they said it themselves, or regions with their own kind of twisted mythologies in a way. You know, seeing with Silent Hill Type F going to Japan, and since we have finished Silent Hill 2 and what I've seen from Silent Hill Type F, they are not the same. I'm quite interested in Townfall, how it depicts. But then Rev Noir showed up, and I was like, no, not another Genshin Impact. I'm tired, Chief. Let it rest. And then they hit those magical words of it's a JRPG. But I'm still cautious. Because maybe it will still be like a Genshin Impact. But yeah, I'm kind of. It's kind of sad that I'm really excited for it just because it's a JRPG, and I was like, okay, I'm on board now. Please show me more. But the biggest surprise of them all, which made sure my Discord blew up when it got announced, was the new Castlevania game at the State of Play, Belmont's Curse. That one, I got excited for it. I'm very much a noob in Castlevania, as in I know a little bit of it. I believe I played a Castlevania game. I can't tell you which one. I played it on the Nintendo DS, so I might even get corrected that there might not have been a Castlevania on Nintendo DS. But I got very excited for all the Castlevania fans. It's being made by the developers of Dead Cells, and I found it very telling with the way it looked, and I believe Aman also commented on it not looking like how he remembers or expects a Castlevania game to look like. But even then, knowing it's the Dead Cells creators and knowing they did a collab with Castlevania for their game, I feel like pretty optimistic about it. And definitely looking forward to it. This trailer did grab my attention instantly. The question now is if the more they show, how soon I want to play it.
Kind of missing the gothic horror from it, but it definitely will be a good Metroidvania at least.
Yeah. But like, who knows? Maybe they'll take in the feedback, and or maybe it's intentional. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of stuff to be shown and to be seen. But that's not the only surprise that happened during the State of Play, because I remember Aman making chicken noises all of a sudden. And I was wondering what it was all about. And then lo and behold, I look up the screen, and what do I see? It's not Superman, it's not Batman, it's a literal bird. Like, legit, just a 7 foot tall chicken guy playing as if he is a DLC character from the Dynasty Warriors games. And I believe when we watched it, I believe I commented about it, like taking not really inspiration, but taking like mechanics that I've noticed from the Dynasty Warrior games. Very excited for it. It looks very dope from the first go. I don't know how much was like proper gameplay and how much we like still have to like really witness. but I'm also interested to see how the cutscenes will be, because it feels like, first look, it kind of felt like, oh, it's gonna be like a Muso game, you know, you're just gonna be like mowing through armies, but I don't know, like at some points it felt like very linear, very as if it's an action adventure game. So kind of interested to see how that pans out.
Yeah, definitely. Project Windless. The one thing I am very cautious of is the fact that it's being published by Krafton. They're not very credible, but apart from that, it is looking very nice.
No Tides of Annihilation, sadly shown. Star Wars Galactic Racer got shown. It looked neat, you know. Yeah, that's where I'm just gonna end that one off. Darwin's Paradox was also a surprise. I remember Aman visibly showing an what the fuck face when he saw that, and didn't know. Like he was like wondering if he was watching the right state of play. Marathon, like Ramazan said, was free. Will play it. The server slam, if you didn't know, the server slam will be live this weekend, starting from this Thursday, the 26th, and will be available until March 2nd, I believe. And yeah, March 2nd. And yeah, it's basically like I'm really interested. I remember being turned off by it last year. It had the art theft drama. It didn't look very polished. It was missing vital features that you would expect in an extract shooter. But then, like, they were just being cheeky, and now they have shown like they listened to all the feedback, gave us like to be honest, a much more serious toned game. All of the way that they're gonna like introduce the story and how it progresses is also kind of interesting. Because it's just, you're gonna like be spawning on the map, and you're gonna have to try and find the lore bits, the terminals that will tell you, and it will take you a little bit out of gameplay, but your character is still in gameplay, so you still have to be wary. So I see it happening that I will force you guys to protect me while I'm reading lore. Sorry in advance for that. I need to get my lore on Marathon.
Good.
But I like much more improved, and I really hope that once we play the Server Slam, that if not all three of us, at least I am like, yes, I shall buy this game and play it, because I really want this game to succeed in winning me over. John Wick got shown again. I do like me a John Wick, a James Bond, a Hitman. I believe Ramazan is much more vocal about those games than I can be. But do look forward to our review on 007 First Light when that one finally releases. The Orange Game, Aman. The Orange Game.
The Orange Game.
Sorrows releasing April 30th. Really looking forward to it. I will try and play Returnal and finish Returnal before it drops, but that's a very lofty, ambitious goal I've set up for myself, since we literally have Resident Evil Requiem to play this weekend. Then if I fall in love with Marathon, I will probably have Marathon consume my life until Crimson Desert releases. So I don't know how that's all gonna work out, but I think I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine. Sorrows very much looked interesting to me from the get-go, but that's probably also with my history, maybe with Returnal, because I might not have played it, but I've seen a lot of it for me being a fan. But for the longest time, what kept me from playing it was it being an exclusive. Now I do know it's been on PC for at least a couple of years now, but every time I think about Returnal, I think another game shows its attention to me, and I'm like, I gotta play that one now. So I really hope I can break that curse and play Returnal before Sorrows drops, so I can also like instantly like get more hype potentially for Sorrows. And that's really all that I care for that was shown at the State of Play. It was a big one. And
it was huge.
Like, don't forget Control Resonant, Pragmata, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I'm happy with the PC announcement. I'm not really happy with the release. I won't be playing it.
It's definitely
anytime
too soon.
It decided to share the date with Crimson Desert, and I'm sorry, Crimson Desert has fully convinced me to play it. And I was surprised with Kina's Scars of Cosmora getting a sequel. That Kina's getting a sequel. I remember giving off my shock to Aman when we started the State of Play, and I was like, "Is this Kina?" And he was like, "What is Kina?" And I was like, "This game, bro, it's from those indie devs, blah blah blah." And then it really was Kina Scars of Cosmora. So I'm quite interested to see how that one pans out. I hope it's gonna be good, and I hope that once they show more, that it might interest Aman a bit more, because I noticed him dozing off when it was being shown.
No, that's true. I was not a big fan of Elisa's style.
But perhaps maybe more gameplay can convince you otherwise. How about 4-Loop, Aman? You were quite vocal. You were quite vocal when we were watching it.
I was so excited for 4-Loop before when it first got announced, and this did not promise what I was hoping for. It felt so generic. Yeah, I don't even know what to say apart from, it was just very... It didn't really show off anything that made me think, this is their own game. It felt really much just like, let's just make a game that is very uninspired. Let's just take every element of what this game should be and separately develop these and then plump them all together in one big box and hope that it works out. It does not feel like it works out. It feels just uninspired.
You didn't like it when the big cube went like you know how it turned and there was a boss fight?
It's such a mess. I don't even know what happened, because it felt like it had so much promise and then it all went down the drain.
As one user would say, "Where are my frames at?" That's how a man felt watching.
Exactly.
Resident Evil Requiem. My God, a young Aman was spared from witnessing what that trailer would show. I kind of wish I was also closing my eyes and just waiting till it was done. But I have witnessed it. I am ready to again diverge and peak. And I remember us making 2 months ago a bet, Aman. What would that bet be? Could you remind the viewers and listeners?
The bet is that Yasser and I will both be playing Resident Evil Requiem, and whoever beats the game first and or gets the highest score at the end will have to receive $50 in the Fantasy Critic from the other player, the loser.
Remember being very confident when we made that bet, and then the week started and I'm feeling less confident. How about you, Aman?
I felt very not confident because Yasser is way more into the Resident Evil series than me. And then something happened this week, or I should say last week, that boosted my confidence a lot.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what that would be.
Yeah.
That would be the fact that Yasser will not have enough time to play the game. I have all the time in the world to beat it really fast and get a high score.
Yeah, Yasser really got nerfed with it.
Life caught up to me. It was like, you will not win that bet. But hey, don't count me out yet. Don't count me out yet. We both know our deadline. Who knows, maybe I can do without one night of sleep. Maybe a couple of Red Bulls. I don't know. We'll see.
Bro.
We'll see. But Marathon also being this weekend, that really shows.
Yeah. You're going to boot up the game and you're going to get a DM from me with an S rank.
You know, I will be quite worried because I will be still playing it like the first day it drops. So I will be very much worried if you drop an S rank and it's not from RE4 or RE1 or any other RE game but RE9. But I can tell we're both very much excited. We're both have not been spoiled yet, and we'll try our best to make sure not to get spoiled, unlike our host, Ramazan, who unawarely let himself get spoiled. Ramazan,
Yeah,
you wanna?
please don't make me remember it. It's
Nah, I kind of.
it was really just careless. Like,
I
man,
warned you, bro. I warned you.
I know, but you know what it is? It was so It was really random, because literally my whole feed doesn't even contain any games or game updates, and I especially don't look up games on my phone or on social media pure for this reason. But for some, like, I still cannot fathom, for some reason a fucking cooking channel decided to put up some of the play of RE, and I was like, I remember, like, because I was talking to my mother, and I'm like, wait, I kinda know where this voice is coming. Like, I kinda this voice feels familiar, and I looked at it and I see my boy Leon there, and I'm like, fuck, directly skip it. But yeah, I did see some of it. Fortunately, it's not the ending that would have made it just worse.
No.
Actually, also quite funny. I would be like, hey, Leon is gonna die at the end of the game. In the podcast, I think I
Yeah.
would make the listeners also very angry, but especially uh, since Yasser and Aman know where I live, it will be very hard
Yes, I will
for me
choke
to
slam
hide.
you. I
Yeah,
will literally choke slam you through multiple tables.
And
yeah.
it'll be easy on you.
Oh, nice, nice. But yeah,
That
Bad
is easy
combat
on
go.
you.
but yeah. So unfortunately, but still, I'm very hyped for it. I
Okay.
won't be able to play it directly like you guys, so I'll wait a bit for it until I have the time to play it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
No, cool, cool.
Okay, and then fast forward to last week for the Whiplash. Sony Interactive Entertainment is shutting down Bluepoint Games.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you heard that right. The studio behind some of the most stunning remakes in recent memory is closing its door next month. For the ones that don't know, Bluepoint was acquired by Sony back in 2021, right after they knocked it out of the park with the Demon Souls remake, that PS5 launch title that made everyone go woo. Next gen looks insane. They also did it beautiful with Shadows of Colossus remake, helped on like major titles like God of War, Ragnarok, and a bunch of other high-profile ports and collections. According to Bloomberg and PlayStation's own statements, roughly 70 employees are affected, with the studio shutting in March after an internal business review. PlayStation boss Herman Hulst, so that's the German, said it wasn't an easy call, praising their technical expertise and craftsmanship.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reasons cited, right? Rising development costs, slower industry growth, shifting player habits, and those classic economic headwinds. So yeah,
Mm.
we know that Sony's been on a bit of cost-cutting streak lately, like the Concord fallout and other live service pullbacks. Bluepoint reportedly had a live service God of War multiplayer thing in the works that got axed last year,
Yep.
and then their new pitches didn't get the green light. Fans are understandably upset. Like, I mean, it's understandable. Bluepoint was reliable, they delivered quality, and now poof, it's another studio gone. Another PlayStation Studios closure in a short span. It feels like Sony's doubling down on fewer bigger bets. This ties right into a brutal Kotaku expose, dropping around the same time Sony's PS5 era studio acquisition spree has been a disaster. They bought 10 plus studios since 2019 like Insomniac, Bungie, Housemarque, Firewalk and 3 or are now closed like Bluepoint, Firewalk and Neon Koi. Half shipped zero new games posted acquisitions. Are they to blame? Is it failed live service bets like Concord? Sony's spree looks like a mess. And if that's not enough, PS6 delay rumors. So my English is not Englishing. From Bloomberg, pushed from 2027 to 2028, or like some even say like it will be probably 2029, thanks to the AI driven RAM and chip shortage spiking costs, and those cat videos we all like and see on our TikTok feeds and all their social media platforms, the ones that are responsible for the whole RAM and chip shortage. Well, longer PS5 life, sure, but fatigue incoming. Leaks whisper Zen 6 CPU RDNA 5 GPUs are around $600 to $900 priced. So yeah, guys, what's your take on this?
I mean, I don't think we're at the state where we really need like a next gen console. Like I think
Well-
PlayStation 5 is still performing really well.
Then
And we got like 30 plus games added to it with the state of play.
Yeah, but it's those 30 games, most are third-party games. If you compare the PS5 to its predecessors, like the PS4, the PS3, the PS2, they all had like more exclusive games and more console seller games, like top-selling exclusive games that made you like beg your parents when you were young, or making you looking at your bank account and say you need that console. And with the PS5, it started off strong with the Demon Souls remake. That's why I'm very surprised that Bluepoint got shuttered. But it started off strong with the Demon Souls remake, but then like it like Sony still has like dry patches here and there, and not that many convincing exclusive games compared to like the PS4 era or the PS3 era or the PS2 era. So, and also like Aman said, like I don't think the new Xbox, if that exists, foreshadowing, or the PS6 will have any real upgrade that the PS4 to the PS5 would have. Like it would be like a minor update, like how you would minorly update your PC to have like faster RAM, if only that was possible in today's economy, or like a small GPU upgrade. So, in my opinion, like I was shocked to hear that it was kind of expected to release next year, but again, like I don't really mind that there is not going to be a PS6 anytime soon. To be honest, if you look, there's probably still a lot of PS4 players, and like if like in my opinion, I don't feel like there has been like a proper year where the PS5 got games that the PS4 didn't get. Like they still had to give out those games, especially since the PS5 had a rocky launch where it was being sold out quite quickly and stock scarcity. And then like maybe like a couple of years later, it found its footing, selling well, but it didn't really have any games backing up it, you know, like most of the hype was early on. Then you had like a cheeky Spider-Man 2 dropping in, Uh, Returnal was in the mix, I believe, as well. Ghost of Yotai last year's, but no, I'm good. I'm good on no PS6 showing up anytime soon. What I'm not good on is Bluepoint getting shuttered because of the live service push, which we all expected to fail because that's chasing a trend that might have been cool 5 years ago, but unless you actually give us something interesting that is sustainable, you're kind of pushing yourself against a rapidly moving wall that will crush anything that comes towards it. And sadly, Bluepoint's God of War came to it. Again, don't really understand why a studio renowned for remakes slash remasters of single player games. I've not heard them remastering or remaking a multiplayer game, but like single player games, making a live service, a God of War multiplayer game. And then also, I remember when they made the pitch like, please acquire us. And if you acquire us, we will make our first ever original IP. And I was very much looking forward to see their original IP, especially after Demon's Souls remake, how it looked. I haven't got the chance to play it yet, but to now know that they have been forced by the new leadership to make a live service game with a lot of the other studios, also explaining why Sony didn't really release a lot of games since almost all the studios were focused on making a live service game. Now that they don't have a project since it got cancelled last year, like you mentioned, it was quite easy for Sony to know like which studio to X, but like to all of us fans were like, what? That is the most stupidest decision you made. Like, why cut down the studio that gave you renowned remakes? Because I do know like not a lot of people were happy with the Demon's Souls remake. They kind of wish it took some more liberty, but Shadow of Colossus is still being praised as like a masterpiece of a remake. And I don't know how you could think of shutting down a studio that was capable of making people like, even for Demon's Souls, to have it shut down when people praise it for its way of bringing back old IP. Since Sony has like a vault of IP that have not seen the day of light like in decades, that you would be like, oh, okay, your next project, please do it of this IP that old fans would really love to see it get back. So very saddened by the news, and Herman can say whatever he wants. I just know they didn't have a project, so the higher ups were like, hey, any studio that doesn't have investments yet for a project might as well get shut down for cost savings. But again, you wouldn't need those cost savings if you plan for the long-term success and not the short-term.
Yeah, they were definitely set up for failure.
But that's our view on the PlayStation side. Like, sucks, but I think you have even bigger news than whatever PlayStation cooked up.
Yeah, true. Well, from now shifting over to the other side of the fence, Microsoft just pulled off what feels like a full leadership reset at Xbox. Phil Spencer, the guy who's basically been the face of Xbox since the dark days of Xbox One, is retiring. Effective this week, after 38 years at Microsoft and over a decade running gaming. He started as an intern way back, turned things around post Xbox One with Game Pass, backwards compatibility, the Bethesda and Activision deals. So, huge legacy, but he told Satya Nadella last fall he was ready for the next chapter, and he'll stick around in an adversary role through summer to help the transition. But you think it's just that, right? No. It wasn't just Phil. Xbox president Sarah Bond is also out. She was seen as the heir apparent for a while, pushed hard on accessibility, next-gen hardware, making Xbox more open. Her LinkedIn farewell was classy, proud of the progress, right time for my next step, personally and professionally. Some reports suggest internal dynamics were tricky. She could be tough to work with, per sources at The Verge, but publicly it's all grace. Stepping in as the new EVP and CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Asha Sharma. She's coming from leading Microsoft's core AI efforts. Yes, AI background, Aman. And before that, roles at Meta, Instacart, etc., reporting directly to Nadella Matt Booty, longtime head of Xbox Game Studio, gets promoted to Chief Content Officer, focusing on great games. In her opening note, Sharma laid out three big commitments. Games first, great games made by people, with people underlined. Number two, the return of Xbox, which has fans buzzing. Does this seem like dialing back to Xbox Everywhere, multi-platform push, and refocusing on consoles? And the third, future of gaming as art, explicitly saying no, chasing short-term AI efficiency or flooding things with soulless AI junk. That's a strong reassurance to fans worried about AI taking over, especially for Aman. But the timing, Xbox has had a rough patch. Series XS sales lagging, Game Pass price hikes, hardware revenue dips, despite killer recent releases like Indiana Jones, Evolved, and a stacked 2026 pipeline with Fable, Gears E-Day, etc. Nadella's memo thanked Phil for transforming gaming and positioned this as building on a strong foundation. But outlets like Polygon and Forbes are asking, what real options does Sharma even have? The multi-platform strategy is locked in, acquisitions are done, next gen is in motion. Is this a course correction or just palliative care? As an Xbox founder quipped, it's a generational shift. Phil saved Xbox once, now Asha has to steer it through what could be its toughest era yet. So guys, what's your take on that?
I mean, it makes sense for Phil Spencer to like start moving out. I think that was just something that was bound to happen eventually. But I think it's very odd for Sarah Bond to also just follow him out like that. I think everyone was expecting Sarah Bond to like be the next in line for CEO. And it kind of feels like, because we saw on LinkedIn, she posted like 3 hours before the announcement, she still posted like talking about Xbox, like something about Xbox, something with
A survey.
getting more, yeah, Xbox survey indeed. So it kind of felt like Sarah did not know until like when the announcement happened that she would be moving out. And that is like kind of odd. Feels like maybe something behind the scenes was going on, but not sure. And for Asha being the new CEO, I think I haven't yet seen anything where I'm like, yeah, this is definitely not gonna end up being good for Xbox. The only thing I'm concerned with is that she doesn't have any experience in the gaming scene. But other than that, she did mention that she wouldn't be working with like making the entire company like AI. But then again, she's also worked with AI like most of her life or most of her career, at least that we can see. So it's kind of hard to like believe that she's not gonna do that. But then again, there's nothing like conclusively saying that they will be doing more with AI. But I think mostly it will just be, we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, like the next like couple of months, maybe even year, we won't even see the effects of it just yet. But we'll definitely have to see how it transitions. And I think at least my prediction is that not a whole lot will change, because at least until I think it was until Summer Game Fest, Asha is still getting like consulting from Phil Spencer to like get the smooth transition. So at the very least, she'll have the knowledge of what Phil knows right now.
Yeah. As I would say, the biggest Xbox fan of us three, it's quite weird for me. Phil has been there for the longest time. Like Ramazan said, he started his career as an intern. I believe that's how he started his goodbye message as well. And he's been there since the foundations of Xbox, saving Xbox One after, I believe, Don Matrick was making it a multimedia box instead of a box that focuses on games that we all wanted. I still don't understand how we went from the Xbox to the Xbox 360, the golden age of Xbox, to the Xbox One. But Phil managed to salvage it. But also, like, as much as I like the guy, he is not without fault. Game Pass was a great idea in the beginning, but like lately, I have a feeling like it's kind of sucking more out of Xbox than it is actually providing them, especially with all the budget raises they had to do, and that we don't really even have like a great metric now to know if how Microsoft views if a game succeeded, like to see, like determine if a studio can still do what it wants or if they're soon going to be shuttered or downed. A lot of the employee layoffs that he had to announce, like don't forget Tango Gameworks shutting down after giving like an award-winning shadow drop of an action game, which made no sense at all for them to get shuttered down and then later get salvaged again by a different studio. Or different publisher, I forgot which one. But yeah, I believe, in my opinion, it was writing on the walls for Phil as soon as they started with the Activision Blizzard acquisition, because $70 billion is chump change for Microsoft, but it's still like $70 billion, so Microsoft would want to see those investments returned very fast to them. So in my opinion, before the Activision Blizzard acquisition, Xbox had like free reign. It wasn't really being micromanaged in the way that I see it, but after the Activision Blizzard acquisition, you could definitely tell Microsoft was starting to micromanage Xbox. And to be honest, Xbox was already starting to lose its identity. It kind of felt like they're going the Sega route, or that they're still going the Sega route, where you're now at the point like, why should I get an Xbox when all their games will also release on PlayStation 5 almost day and date, and otherwise PC will have it day and date. So I was not surprised that he would leave, because 30 plus years, that's a lot of time, and at some point the passion will run out, especially if you work for a corporation. But I kind of expected him to do his big farewell at least after the Xbox showcase this summer, the one last hurrah celebrating the 25th anniversary with us all. But hearing it randomly on a Friday last week after Sony shuttered down Bluepoint, and me thinking, oh, nothing big will happen afterwards, and just Phil saying like, I'm done, and Sarah Bond leaving. Sarah Bond was, like Aman said, like was propped up as like the next one to be the heir, but I guess Microsoft had different plans by putting Asha Sharma on it. I don't really put any stock into what she is saying, because at the end of the day, even if she says they don't want to go for the short-term success, she's working for Microsoft, and at the end of the day, Satya has the last word / the shareholders. And I like to remind people that AI was already being pushed very hard under Phil's leadership, not because of Phil, but just because of Microsoft. So even if she says that she doesn't want to that she doesn't want to go for the short-term AI success. At the end of the day, if Satya or any of the shareholders say that they want it, then she can only do what they want and oblige. So, and also, it's interesting to see like in what form she can affect. Like if you knew this last year, you would have kind of had like maybe a project that she can say like, I have helped manage this project, so we can know like once it releases, like, oh, okay, so that's how it's going to be when you're in charge, right? And not like, oh, she's the new CEO, here you go, Phil is gone, but he will consult, because she has no experience on this side of the field, because she doesn't have to be a gamer, but she also doesn't really have any background in entertainment, and like that's the difference, you know. Like if you're not a gamer, so you don't understand what a gamer wants, and you're not you don't have any experience in the entertainment business, then you also don't really know like what to follow and what to prevent, right? Like you kind of need someone that can manage the studios and let them know like what they expect based on like current trends, to know like if they should maybe join a trend, or how fast it all is. Because she did say like with urgency, since it's a ever fast changing landscape. But again, like it doesn't matter if you give it any urgency if you also don't really know how to expect how people will react to a game. Return to Xbox is what she also claimed, meaning that Xbox was losing its identity. Also, I guess in Microsoft's point of view. But again, what do you really mean by that? Like, are you gonna start exclusive again? Because a lot of people were not happy when exclusivity was being dropped, but we're now like a couple of years into it, to just suddenly bring it back. Like that's also gonna be met with a huge backlash. So I don't really know what to think. I will just take the cynical approach. I am looking forward to the Xbox showcase this summer, even though they haven't announced it, but it would be like a very bad start of a 25th anniversary if we don't have a Xbox showcase just because Phil left. So I'm still looking forward to that one. I really hope some of the games that I'm still waiting on, like a State of Decay 3, a Blade, you know, just to name two already, are being shown. Clockwork Revolution. I really hope that a lot of the studios can just kind of unaffectedly continue their work. I think that's the most important part. All the projects that are close to finishing or that are like decently along the way, I hope they can just smoothly progress under her leadership. I did see like the co-founder of Xbox say that he's expecting her to be the palliative doctor sunsetting Xbox in the slowing years. And again, Xbox is a subsidiary to a top 200 company with millions of fans, even if they are very disgruntled right now. I don't know if you want to be the person to like be known as the face that sunsetted Xbox, but it does give me like the feeling that Xbox will go the Sega route and will become an actual third party. So I don't really put any stock on a new console coming. Maybe for the next generation, maybe, since those plans are further along the way than anything other. But after that, I don't know. I'm also really hoping that they won't shut down any studios, but you have to also wonder like, what makes Xbox great again? Are you gonna now put studios back on like focusing on the original IPs of Xbox, like a Perfect Dark, Halo, Gears, Fable? We're already getting from those three a new game this year, one remake, one prequel, one reboot, I think would be the right word to use for Fable. So what does the return to Xbox, what does it really entail, right? Like, what does it mean to her, at least, and more importantly to Microsoft? But anything AI, I'm not putting any stock in it, because Microsoft is literally one of the company, if not the company, heavily investing in AI. So again, under Phil's leadership, they were already pushing hard for it. And under her leadership, I don't expect any change.
Yeah.
And if so, maybe just temporarily that they're not showing anything, just to have us like ease into our leadership, and then bam, hitting us again with AI. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I'll take the cynical approach and just.
And Aman, are you also going to take the cynical approach, or?
I mean, I said I won't expect there to be much of a change, but we'll have to see. It's hard to say right now because there's no conclusive things said right now.
Well, like I said, like Aisha has to steer it through like what could be its toughest era. So yeah, like the task is not small for her, and I think definitely the shoes to fill are big. So yeah, like all we can do is wait for it and see how it turns out.
True.
And then for our creme a la creme of this show,
The biggest news.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Actually, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna give you the honors, Aman. Take away.
Thank you. So, as we've been discussing previously, I'm an indie dev, and I run a small little indie studio of two people. And we recently announced our next installment on Steam called "Thanks for the Soup." Link will be in the description, of course, if you want to check it out. But it's also on the big screen right now. It's basically a immersive survival horror game, or not? Yeah, I guess it's kind of survival, where most of the time you are spent just biking around town and delivering soup to a plethora of characters. And outside of delivering soup, you get to explore the town a bit, and there's lots of things to do in town. So definitely look forward to that when it comes out. We recently started a playtest, including my two boys over here. They also received the key. They have yet to play, but I'm very excited to hear what they have to say.
Sure.
The playtest will be running for a few weeks, and we've already received some very, very good feedback. So exciting to hear more for that. And it's very exciting for us because this is going to be our first commercial release. So yeah, and the game will be available on Steam sometime this year, and we're looking for we're looking to release it for both Windows, Linux, and Mac, and hopefully after that we'll try to release it on consoles if it's received well. But that's too far into the future. But at the very least, it will be available on most Steam platforms.
Okay. Damn. Thanks for the soup. I like it.
Thanks for the soup.
I'll make sure you get a detailed review from me once I'm done playtesting it.
Yes, same here. But phew, what an episode. Sony's feast or famine, Xbox generational shift, industry's brutal cost up, AI everywhere, hardware in flux, PS6 delay, a gift or curse, Bluepoint's end, the final straw, Xbox rebound under AI leadership. So what do you think, listeners? And to top it off, like on a good note, thanks for the soup.
Thanks for the soup.
Thanks for the soup. The biggest news of this year, I would say.
I agree.
So please let us know what y'all felt.
See ya.
Wishlist it.
Bye-bye.
See ya.